Good evening, YouTube. This is Warbles on a Lot. I want to talk about military intelligence, which is the oxymoronic delusion. Now, military intelligence is a way of life, or perhaps it's a philosophy, in which it's considered normal and rational and reasonable to assume that if you perceive any other individual or group of individuals on the face of planet Earth who you believe have the capacity or the capability of doing you harm, then rather than consider the likelihood that they may want to do you harm, according to the military intelligence philosophy, you must act and behave and conduct yourself as if they wish to do unto you the maximum possible harm. Alright? So it's a worst case scenario. Every time you see anybody who's capable of hurting you, you must assume that they plan to hurt you and take action to defend yourself. Alright? It's the sort of thing where if you see your next door neighbour unload a .22 caliber rabbit rifle because he wants to teach his kid to shoot, and he lives 50 metres away from you, and you're aware that the ammunition says on the box, dangerous at a mile, then you take yourself off to the gun shop and you tell the bloke you want something that's dangerous at 5 miles so that you can outgun your next door neighbour if he takes it into his head to do something murderous and ridiculous like shoot you at 50 metres. That's a perfect example of military intelligence, okay? If the neighbouring country has a couple of dozen aeroplanes which are capable of flying almost to your coastline, then what you need to defend yourself is 5 squadrons of fighters for every one of theirs of bombers, and 10 squadrons of bombers for every one of theirs of fighters, and you need to have aeroplanes that can fly all the way to their capital city and drop bombs that are bigger than the ones they've got. And if you don't have that in peacetime so you can sit around polishing the guns, then you're going to be feeling insecure if you subscribe to the military intelligence philosophy. Now, the strangest example of military intelligence philosophy that I've ever seen appeared in a New Scientist magazine, where some paleo-archaeologist had found fossil evidence of an emu that was 9 feet tall. And he reckoned that the emu had a beak that was shaped exactly like a cockatoo's beak, and he'd calculated how sharp the beak was, how strong the beak was, how long the beak was, and what the myrmidon was, and how big the muscles were. And therefore, he figured that a cockatoo beak on a 9 foot tall emu could cut a human's leg off. Thus and because he fantasised for the rest of his article on 9 foot tall carnivorous emus, back in the way back when, that could chase you down and cut your leg off. Now, I have a point of dissent here, which is that just because something's capable of being used against you doesn't mean it's going to be used against you. I am seen here, barefoot, on the floor of the clearing, and I know that there are New England funnel webs that live in the lawn. And I know that they don't want to kill me because they don't eat people, all right? So I'm not defending myself against New England funnel webs on the floor of the forest in northern New South Wales, because spiders do not eat people, okay? I do not subscribe to a military intelligence philosophy. Here's another reason, not to do with spiders, but back to the cockatoos. On page 184 of Michael Morecambe's Field Guide to Australian Birds, the complete compact edition in a handy pocket-size format, we see the yellow-tailed cockatoos, what the northern inland bundjalung call the waylard. And my property is named Waylard Currajong Budderall Doon. These are the waylards. Now, the waylards don't often drop feathers, but they do occasionally. And this is my best waylard feather. Right? It lives over my bed, and very occasionally I wear it in my newest cobra when I'm trying to be impressive Probably in front of me mother, I guess, because she bought the newer Cobra. Now, this Whalard is 58 to 65 centimetres long, so it's about a half a metre from one end to the other. And here is my leg, while here is the sawn end of a stringy bark sapling. And the reason I've sawn it and compared it to my leg is because this is what the yellowtail black cockatoo has done to chop down the tree. Now the reason the yellowtail black cockatoo was chopping this tree down was because the yellowtail black cockatoo had heard a witchetty grub inside the tree. Now this is not your pissy ass pine, this is stringy bark, right? This is Australian eucalyptus hardwood, right? And the yellowtail cockatoo heard the beetle, or the witchetty grub, which was inside that little hole where previous droughts had killed the centre of the sapling. So identifying that there was a food source in there, the yellowtail cockatoo cut down a tree that was the size of my leg, only it was made out of hardwood. A bird that's 3 feet long from head to tail. Now surely the military intelligence philosophy of a bird that can cut a tree down that's as big as a human leg must be a terrible dangerous bird, eh? Maybe we should go and get ourselves lots and lots of guns and poison and protect ourselves against them birdies. Right? Military intelligence is a paranoid fantasy. It's a total bloody psychosis. Military intelligence is wrong. It's an oxymoron. It is a contradiction in terms. If you honestly believe that everything that's capable of hurting you is intent upon hurting you, then you're on your way to the funny farm, right? Seriously. I live with the wildlife, and I know that the most dangerous thing on the planet is a frightened human. Somebody who thinks that a state of war justifies everything, whereas wah is the noise that a primate makes when it's frightened enough, or hungry enough, or angry enough to kill. And you know what? I'm not a killer monkey, and neither should you be. Forget military intelligence. It's oxymoronic, and who wants to be a fucking moron? Ciao.